Shalom and welcome to Students of Torah. This year is entitled Inciting the Gentiles. Rav Moshe Sternbach from the Eidah Haredit HaGaon, Rav Moshe Sternbach, writes that in addition to the other issues going up to Har Habayit, such as violating the minhag that we've had for generations, according to Rav Moshe, not to go up. In addition to that, one who goes up is a rodef. He's considered to be someone who incites the Goyim, the Gentiles, and he is endangering the Jewish people in Eretz Israel because you're inciting them, you're getting them upset. We're going up to a site which they consider holy, and we know when many Muslims are upset, they will often do anything, suicide bombers, kill us, and anything such similar to that. And therefore, we, by going up, are inciting them. And we are defined as rodfim, endangering the Jewish people. That's what Rav Moshe writes. So what do we say about that? So Rav Brandt has a fantastic article where he writes that if you think of it, if you analyze Rav Sternbach's writings over the last half a century, you see that really this issue of inciting the Gentiles, inciting our enemies, doesn't begin with a Har Habayit. It's part of a bigger picture. Yes, the specific question of karet, if someone goes and they go in the wrong area, that's a Har Habayit issue. There's specific discussion whether there is a minhag not to go from over the centuries. And that's a binding minhag today when we have sovereignty. That's a specific Har Habayit question for sure. But our brand says that the question of inciting, if you look at Rav Sternbach's own works, you'll see that the inciting question has come up over the decades. It's come up over the Shtachim, where he says we should not be in any of the, quote, occupied territories, Yesha, Yehuda, Sharon, and Gaza, which unfortunately is no longer in our hands, at least for now. And we shouldn't go to any of those places because that is a sakana. It's a danger. You're causing hatred to the Goyim. They're going to get angry and they're going to want to kill us. And therefore get out of the Shtachim. And we shouldn't have gone there in the first place into the occupied territories, the settlements, as people call them. So Rav Brand says that the shita of inciting does not begin with Har Habayit. He says it would seem that Rav Sternbach's position began in 1967. He says that's not true either. The idea of inciting the Goyim and not doing things to incite them began in 1948. And he quotes, or Brand quotes from Sternbach's own articles, where he quotes the Briskers, the Grizz in Yerushalayim, that he didn't want to establish a state. Establishing the state is a sakana, is a danger. That's what he writes. Because you're just inciting the Goyim. So it really turns out that at least Rav Sternbach, who is the one who gives the title, the dubious honor of Rodef, someone who's endangering the Jewish people, Rav Sternbach, who gives that title to those who go up to Har Habayit, really that title is given to anyone in the settlements and really anyone involved in the beginning of the Medina. At what point people living in the Medina would no longer have that title is a good question, according to Rav Sternbach's the Shita. But I think Rav Brand is hitting on a fantastic point, that really the inciting question, at least according to the Rav Sternbach approach, is an old machlokas between the different groups. Do we say there's a mitzvah to accomplish here, and therefore we do what we need to do, and yes, the Gentiles won't be happy with us, or not? There's no mitzvah, and then all you're doing is just upsetting the goyim. The next year, I'd like to just analyze what the different opinions are regarding whether we have a mitzvah or not, and how that affects the question of inciting. Shalom.